One of the problems that we have understanding this is that we tend to think of God in a transactional way instead of a covenant way.
Jedan od problema je što razmišljamo o Bogu na transakcijski način umjesto na način saveza.
We think we have a contract with God.
Mislimo da imamo ugovor s Bogom.
And in our contract with God, if we do good things, God does good things for us. If we do bad things, God punishes us.
I prema tom ugovoru, ako činimo dobro, primamo dobro od Boga, ako činimo loše, Bog nas kažnjava.
But the Bible writers thought about their relationship with God much more in terms of a covenant.
Ali autori Biblije razmišljali su o odnosu s Bogom puno više kao savezu.
So let's talk about what a covenant is.
Da vidimo što je savez.
Covenant is an agreement between two people. It's like a contract, but there's some important differences.
Savez je dogovor između dvoje ljudi, znači slično ugovoru, ali postoje razlike.
The parallels are that both involve an agreement between people.
I jedno i drugo uključuje dogovor između ljudi.
And both involve what each party will do for the other.
I jedno i drugo opisuje što svaka strana treba učiniti za onu drugu.
So if I hire you to mow my lawn or work on my car, we have an agreement, we have a contract.
Dakle, ako sam te unajmio da mi kosiš travu ili opereš auto, onda imamo određeni dogovor.
And our agreement is what we will do for each other. I'll give you 100 kuna and you'll mow my lawn.
Na primjer, ja ću ti platiti 100 kuna ako pokosiš moju travu.
Is that enough to mow the lawn?
How big is your yard?
It's a big lawn. Okay. The difference between a covenant and a contract is what they focus on.
Razlika između ugovora i saveza je u tome na čemu se oni fokusiraju.
A contract is focused on what the two people are doing for each other, the exchange.
Ugovor se fokusira na ono što će dvije strane učiniti jedna za drugu.
A covenant is much more focused on the relationship between the two people.
A savez se usredotočuje na odnos između dvije strane.
And what the people do for each other is not the primary thing. It's that they belong to each other. They are partners with each other. They relate to each other in a deeper way.
I u savezu ono što strane čine jedna za drugu nije primarna stvar, nego je primaran odnos. Znači povezani su na jedan dublji način.
So, which one is this? I give you 100 kuna to mow my lawn is a contract.
Znači, ako kažem, platit ću ti 100 kuna da mi pokosiš travu, to je ugovor.
Do you know the Latin expression quid pro quo?
Znate latinsku izreku, quid pro quo?
Do you know that?
Jeste čuli za to? Što to znači?
Quid pro quo. This for that.
Ovo za ono.
Things that are of equal value are exchanged. This for that.
Znači nešto što izmjenjujemo, što ima jednaku vrijednost.
100 kuna, you mow my lawn.
100 kuna za pokositi travu.
But if I give you permission to marry my daughter, or if I adopt you into my family, that's not a contract. That's something deeper, isn't it?
Ali ako dam nekome dopuštenje da oženim moju kćer, ili ako usvojim nekoga u svoju obitelj, to je onda nešto dublje.
Because there's a relationship there that's going to last longer than just me handing you money and you performing a service.
Zato što se radi o jednom odnosu koji će biti dugotrajan, koji nije samo ti ćeš učiniti nešto za mene, a ja ću ti platiti.
So here's a table that kind of lays out the differences between the two.
Ova tablica pokazuje u stvari razlike između ugovora i saveza.
What are they focused on?
Na što se usredotočuju?
Well, a contract is focused on the exchange of goods and services.
Kod ugovora bitna je izmjena stvari, izmjena dobara.
And usually what is exchanged is stuff, things.
I obično razmjenjujemo stvari, robu.
And the result of a contract, if the contract works correctly,
I ako je ugovor radi ispravno, rezultat je sljedeći.
Is you get what you pay for.
Dobiješ ono što si platio.
You get what you deserve what you get.
Dobiješ što si zaslužio, zaslužuješ što si dobio.
But a covenant is different.
A savez je drugačiji.
Because in a covenant, the things that people are exchanging are not nearly as important as the fact that they're exchanging themselves. They're giving themselves away to each other.
Jer u savezu nisu toliko važne te stvari koje se razmjenjuju između dvije strane, nego u stvari da su se ljudi predali jedno drugome.
And because they're giving themselves away to each other, there's room for grace and for forgiveness.
I baš zato što su se predali jedno drugome, postoji mjesto za oproštenje i za milost.
There's room for you being better to the other person than they are to you for a while.
Ima prostora da ti možeš biti bolji prema drugoj strani nego što je druga strana prema tebi.
Who here is married?
Raise your hand if you're married.
Raise your hand if you're married.
Podignite ruku ako ste.
How many of you heard someone say our marriage is going to be 50-50?
Da li ste čuli nekoga da kaže naš brak će biti 50%, 50%, pola-pola?
Does that make sense? 50-50, is that an expression that makes sense in Croatian? Yeah. How many of you heard someone say, I've heard people say that our marriage is going to be 50-50. How many marriages are ever 50-50?
Da li su brakovi ikada pola-pola?
Marriages are never 50-50.
Brakovi u stvari nikada nisu takvi.
Marriages are always 65-35.
Možda 65 prema 35%.
And 90-10, and you know.
Možda čak 90-10.
Because they're never proportionate in terms of who is giving what, who is giving how much.
Jer ne možemo proporcionalno mjeriti tko koliko daje drugome.
That's because it's a covenant. It's a covenant.
Jer se radi o savezu.
So here's that slide in English for everybody who wanted to read it in English. Now, the basic biblical covenant for us to understand Paul is God's covenant with Abraham.
Da bismo razumjeli Pavlovo poimanje saveza, moramo razumjeti Božji savez sa Abrahamom.
And the place to go to see this is Genesis chapter 12.
A to je u Postanku 12.
And I'm going to have the verses up on the slide.
I reci će biti na slajdovima.
And as you look at those verses, I want you to notice what God does for Abraham and what Abraham does for God.
I molim vas obratite pažnju što Bog čini za Abrama, a što Abram za Boga.
And I want you to tell me why this is a covenant.
I zašto je ovo savez?
So here it is. God speaks to Abraham. God says, leave your land, leave your family and your father's house, go to the destination I show you.
Dakle, Bog se obraća Abramu i kaže, idi iz svoje zemlje u krajeve koje ću ti pokazati.
I will make you a great nation, I will bless you, I will make your name great, and you will be a blessing.
U tebe ću učiniti velik narod, blagoslovit ću te i sam ćeš biti blagoslov.
I will bless the one who blesses you, and the one who curses you I will curse.
Blagoslivljat ću one koji tebe blagoslivljaju i koji te proklinju, njih ću proklinjati.
And I will bless all the people of the earth through you.
I sva plemena na zemlji, tobom će se blagoslivljati.
So, verse 4, Abraham went where God told him to go.
I četvrti redak čitamo da je Abram otišao kako mu je Bog rekao.
Now, how do you know that this is a covenant and not a contract?
Kako znate da je ovo savez, a nije ugovor?
Well, what is God going to do for Abraham and what is Abraham going to do for God?
Što će Abram učiniti za Boga, a što Bog za njega?
What is God going to do for Abraham?
Što će Bog učiniti za njega?
You say,
It's about giving himself. Abram gave himself.
Yeah. What are the things that God promises Abraham? What are the things that are being exchanged here? God is unloading a bunch of stuff on Abraham. What's the stuff God is unloading on Abraham?
Ali koje točno stvari Bog obećava Abrahamu? Zato što ima strašno puno toga što Bog jednostavno njemu daje.
Abraham is a wealthy man.
Abram je bogat čovjek.
And God is going to make him stunningly wealthy.
A Bog će ga učiniti iznimno bogatim.
Amazingly wealthy.
Čudesno bogatim.
That's part of the promise here.
To je dio obećanja.
God is going to give Abraham a family. Abraham is going to become a nation.
Daće mu obitelj, učinit će narod od njega.
Now that's a big deal because Abraham is in his 40s, his 50s, his wife is 10 years younger than him and they don't have any children yet.
A to je velika stvar jer Abraham je negdje 40-50 godina i ima ženu, ali nemaju još djece.
God's going to give him a land, a country to be his home.
Bog će mu dati zemlju da mu bude dom.
And God is going to protect him. Those who bless you, I will bless. Those who curse you, I will curse. If anybody's your enemy, they're my enemy.
I Bog će ga štititi. Njegovi neprijatelji bit će i Božji neprijatelji.
That's all the stuff that God is promising Abraham.
Sve to Bog obećava Abrahamu.
What does Abraham have to do for God?
A što on treba učiniti za Boga?
What does he have to do? One word. What's the word?
Jednu stvar. To go.
He has to go. Abraham has to go.
Mora ići nekamo.
Abraham could sit back in the city and just say, no, I don't want it.
Abraham je mogao reći ne idem, ostajem.
I'm comfortable where I am.
Sviđa mi se tu gdje jesam.
But God says, go and I'll give you all of this stuff.
Ali Bog mu kaže idi i daću ti sve ovo.
And so Abraham goes.
I Abraham je otišao.
Now, who is doing the bigger thing here? Is Abraham doing the bigger thing by leaving, or is God doing the bigger thing by giving him all these things?
Dakle, tko ovdje pruža više? Da li Abraham tako što je otišao ili Bog tako što mu je sve ovo obećao?
Remember, in a contract, the things are supposed to be about the same value.
Jer ako se radi o ugovoru, onda imamo razmjenu otprilike jednako vrijednih dobara.
But in a covenant, you can bless somebody way beyond what they can bless you in return.
Ali u savezu možete blagosloviti nekoga puno više nego što ćete dobiti za uzvrat.
Now, does Abraham earn the blessings by obeying God?
Da li je Abraham zaradio ove blagoslove zato što je poslušao Boga?
Is it such a big thing for Abraham to pack up his family and leave the city of Ur of the Chaldees that God says, okay, now you deserve this, or I owe you these blessings?
Da li je Bog rekao zato što si otišao iz Ura Kaldejskog, sada zaslužuješ, sada ti ja dugujem blagoslove?
God never owes anybody anything.
Bog nikada ništa ne duguje nekome.
This is a covenant. God is going to bless Abraham just because Abraham belongs to him.
Ovo je savez. Bog će ga jednostavno blagosloviti jer Abraham pripada njemu.
But if Abraham doesn't go, if Abraham doesn't obey, Abraham is saying to God, I don't belong to you.
Ali ako Abraham kaže ne idem, ne pripadam tebi.
When God is good to somebody who doesn't deserve it, what do we call that?
Kad je Bog dobar prema nekome tko to ne zaslužuje, kako to nazivamo?
Milost, grace.
Milost.
Right? Grace. Yeah. Covenants have grace. Okay.
Znači u savezu postoji milost.
So, covenants have grace built into them. God knows that Abraham's not going to be perfect.
Bog zna da Abraham neće biti savršen.
In fact, the stories around this, both the stories immediately after this are stories about how Abraham fails to live up to what God wants.
Odmah nakon ovoga postoji nekoliko događaja gdje Abraham ne uspijeva živjeti po Božjim standardima.
About how Abraham doesn't trust God to protect him or to take care of him.
Gdje se vidi da Abraham nekad nije vjerovao Bogu da će ga zaštititi ili se pobrinuti za njega.
And you know what God does when Abraham doesn't trust him?
A što je Bog učinio kad mu Abraham nije vjerovao, kad se nije pouzdao u njega?
God blesses him anyway.
Boga svejedno blagoslovlja.
God keeps making Abraham wealthier and wealthier and more respected.
Boga čini sve bogatijim i sve uglednijim.
And when Abraham lies about his wife being his sister.
I onda Abraham laže o svojoj ženi da mu je sestra.
What does God do? Well, God blesses him anyway.
Ali vidimo da ga Bog svejedno blagoslivlja kroz tu situaciju.